Hello FLOSSTUBE, it's Lee from Creative Lee coming to you from Social Distancing Central. Okay, that's not easy to say. On Sunday the 22nd of March, here with FLOSSTUBE number 18. And yeah, life got more weird in the last week. Things seem to be changing rapidly here in New Zealand. Our government announced, I think yesterday, a new 4-level alert system or warning system, and we're at level 2 now, which is, oh shit, I can't remember, like avoid or reduce or something. So basically it means work from home where possible, all the community kind of things are cancelled and closing down, like libraries and places where people gather. And in line with that, on Friday, work had announced at that stage we were going to be no more than 50% of our employees in the building at one time. So they were going to work out, on Monday we were going to work out some sort of roster system of like those clocks where, those weather things where if I come into the building someone has to leave, so kind of thing. But that's all changed, so we got our global email yesterday to say that from Monday it's everybody except bare necessity, like some IT staff, need to work from home. Any exceptions will have to be approved by our DCE Finance, one of our Tier 2 leaders. And we're allowed into the office today, Sunday or Monday, to pick up any things. One of the issues people have from working from home is they don't have offices and set up, so if people need to come and take their chairs to use at home, that sort of thing. Anyway, so I've got to go in. I've got a new starter starting on Monday, so that's just awesome. So she won't get any of the induction. I've got to let her know today, meet me in the office. We'll make sure her password's set. She can log in. Because we're short of laptops because of supply chain issues with the models of computers that we use. I don't have a laptop for her, so she's going to have to use a remote desktop, which is, not ideal. It's not as functional as a fully laptop over the VPN. But anyway, blah blah blah. It is what it is. Kind of crazy. So just gonna be, I don't even know. Excuse the banging. It's the blind. I have to have the sun filters down, otherwise this place just gets very blown out because it is actually a really sunny day. But yeah, it's a crazy times, and hopefully if we manage to do this well as a community, we will make sure we don't get overwhelmed with COVID-19. And I think today we're up to 52 confirmed cases with 2 suspected community transferred cases. That is, they can't trace back to a specific, to anyone who's travelled. So our borders got closed down last week. I think from midnight, 11:59 p.m. on Thursday, no one could board a flight to New Zealand unless they were a New Zealand citizen or permanent resident. So I think it's similar in Australia. It's similar just about everywhere now, which is, I guess, the main concern is, my sister lives in a different country. She's in Australia, and if she were to come, she's not a citizen, she's a weird kind of visa or visa exemption as a New Zealander over there, so she's not a permanent resident. So if she were to come to New Zealand for some reason, she wouldn't be allowed back into Australia right now, even though she's been living there since 2011 or something. So we can't get there. So yeah, it's just weird. It's just weird. It's a weird time. Anyway, that's enough of that. It's interesting certainly been watching a lot more FLOSSTUBE and reruns of Mad About You. I started that from the beginning. Yeah, I've been watching quite a lot over the last few days as I've been home more. And one comment that I just have to say, not all of us has enough stash to get us through. It's a bit stressful because not all of us have lots of fabric and lots of patterns, and I don't. I have like 8 charts and I have no fabric. I've got, I've got enough DMC. I could do stuff in DMC. But I don't have all the things, so it's a bit stressful. So I have made some purchases, so I'll talk about those a little later. What else is on my life update? I don't really have anything. We don't really have life anymore, do we? We just sit at home. I still have asthma from my cold, which I just took a couple of puffs on my Ventolin, so hopefully that'll kick in soon. It's like an allergy thing as well, and it's just annoying. It's annoying. But yeah, that's pretty much it, I think, from a life perspective. So, stitching. I think last week I had quite a lot of progress on the Pilgrim, and I decided that I would push through, just keep going monogamous to finish it, because it was so close, and so close the way I stitch. For anyone who might have watched my kind of bad but random little how I stitch in hand video the other week, I did that as a bonus video. Compatibility issues between my iPhone and iPad meant I couldn't insert it, or I couldn't work out how. But yeah, so I said I'd be going monogamous, and you can see by my little card that I do that I have a finish date. Yes, I finished it on the 17th. So I think I stitched like a nut job on Sunday after my video, and Monday I worked from home half a day and just gave up, was sick half a day. Tuesday I just stayed home sick. So basically I just sat on the couch and stitched. So yeah, 36 count legacy from Picture This Plus, random anchor threads. Anyone who follows me on Instagram, I'm not very prolific, but 300 and something odd people liked it on Instagram, would have seen it. I might have to push you back a bit because it's going to be. And here it is. And I love it. Doesn't go with my shirt, does it? So yeah, I stitched and stitched and stitched like a mad woman, and basically I had to finish this bit in here, and I just am so happy with it. Yeah, so it's done like a done thing. That is crazy. And I saw actually it's quite a few people on I think on Instagram, and a little bit on the Long Dog Facebook page. But they were, really liked it. And I feel a bit terrible. One lady on the Pilgrim Facebook group, posted, I think I saw yesterday, that inspired by my colour palette, she's restarted. I don't know how far she'd gone with the previous version. And I think she'd kind of, it wasn't the same, which was really nice, but I could see the inspiration, but like the pinks were different, and then she put green where I'd stitched brown, and yeah, but it was kind of quite flattering really, so it's quite nice. So I thought I'd pick up, I haven't got my little card, I thought I'd pick up Night Walked Down as the next thing to work on. Last time I showed it, I had this border, not the corner, but this border, this one down here, and I had stitched up to here. And then after I did the video a couple of a month or so ago, I picked it up to do this, and then realised that down here I'd made a mistake, and this was one over and it didn't line up. So I unpicked all of it last time and then I put it away. So I restitched all of that, and I restitched all of that. Oh no, I stitched all of that and I did the thing. I did that on Thursday night and Friday night. There's actually a really lot of stitches in that border. And then I picked it up yesterday, and I barely left the house. I didn't leave the house yesterday, which was Saturday. And I did a lot of stitching yesterday. The peacock you can see a little better in person. It is really pale. This is one of my subbed white threads. I think it's White Lightning by someone. Can't remember, Weeks probably, or I don't know. But I do like it. Kind of like that you have to kind of look for the white things. And I got some colours wrong because I just didn't look at the chart. I thought I knew what they were, and I just searched. So this colour, which is Brandied Pears, is supposed to be in there, and that colour is supposed to be in there, and that colour is supposed to be there. Whatever. I just swapped stuff out. Swapped out those blues from what I had planned. Swapped out the interior of this, which was meant to be black, and I didn't, or 310, and I just changed it for a dark blue. There's sort of, I mean, what and then I put that colour into the peacock feathers, which it was supposed to be the same colour as this, which for me is a grey, and then the pattern is seaweed. So there's a whole lot of changes, but it's some are the same and some different. It's just, so it's that half there, right? It's very similar, it's just not the same. Wow, so erudite. And while I was up putting the lights on, I grabbed my little card. So yeah, on 40 count Pewter linen by Picture This Plus, started in February. So now I'm what? Oh, well, I mean, I'm with counting the border, I'm over halfway. But I mean, I'm not discounting the fact there's actually a lot of stitching in there. I just said I sat on my couch. My March start, still don't have any stuff for it. My March start, which is probably going to be in April, is Halloween Quaker by Lila Studio. I finally, so where am I at with it? The bright colours, the four main sort of feature colours, except the green, which has hardly any, and I probably won't do that shade of green. I've ordered from Nina's Threads in Hungary, and that they were shipped, they're on their way. I checked in the tracking today, and it says place in customs or something. So I think it hasn't left Hungary yet. And the thing is like, who knows when it will get here, because they come on a plane and so few planes are coming, right? New Zealand is not, like, we're not on the way to anywhere. We are, you don't often transit through New Zealand. You stop here or you start here. So the only people we're letting in are New Zealanders. So goodness, yeah, I don't even know, but it'll arrive, right? And then the 3 shades of black I've ordered from ribbon rows in Auckland, and one of them was on back order, so I'm just waiting for all that. Finally decided on my fabric, and I did not go with murky. I decided not to. I have a book that I plan projects in. It's kind of where I go through when you've got all the different threads that are recommended on the pattern and stuff, and then I have a look. I write down what's suggested, and then I go through and have a look at the chart and have a good kind of idea of how much is, like, I mean, if there's two skeins required, usually, I mean, I'll stick with that. And I wanted the different shades of black, because otherwise it would all be 310 and it would be all 3371 would be a bit weird. And I have a look through and get a feel for what I could sub, and then I just highlight if I do decide to do D and C for this one, which one would I do, because there's often a blend, but it's going to be on 36 count, I think. Then I start writing down, like, here's the called for fabric and the size that I'd need. Anyway, and then I've ordered stuff. So that's where I went through and picked my Nina's threads that I've got, and then I ended up going with a colour called Halloween Smoke. I ordered 3 lots of fabric from Country Stitch here in New Zealand, in Porirua. And I decided I'm just going to put an order through, support a local dyer. It takes a little bit of time because I think she dyes a lot on demand, and she does a monthly fabric club. So it's fine. I don't have any. So and it is the fabric's called Halloween Smoke. And it's a grey, mauvey, grey, bluey, I think. I can't remember now. And I went with, that one is 40 count. Yeah, 40 count Halloween Smoke. So, basically, I have to wait for everything to arrive, which is fine. So I also ordered fabric for what I've said I'm gonna do in May. I'm gonna do Monogamous May, and I'm gonna stitch in Friendship, and this will be a gift for my best friend Tanya, who finally got back to New Zealand from Slovenia via Air Canada. I think she arrived on Friday morning, and she's now in isolation in the Coromandel Peninsula. So we're going to have a phone call this evening. It'll be great. So yeah, I'm going to stitch this. I'll be making some colour changes. So I've ordered for this, it called for 36 count Patriots Brew, which is impossible to find. For me anyway, in New Zealand, I can't find it. I could email R&R and say, can you send me some when you've got it? It's just ridiculous. But I've ended up going with a 35 count and the colourway from Country Stitch, Merino. It's called Merino, which of course is a sheep. And this has little sheep on it. So why not? And it'll be a slightly mottled, not picture this plus mottled, but just, hand dyed, off-white, sheepy coloured linen. So I'm going to sub out the colours of the dresses, and I'm going to stitch. You can't see their hair, but I think they're like meant to be old ladies, which I guess we are now, dear. But I'm going to put sort of dark black hair for my friend, and whatever colour my hair is, mid-brownish for me, and probably do the dresses in colours that are more like what we would wear if we wore dresses. Yeah, So quite looking forward to that. So that will be May. And so ordered all of the, I'm going with, I think I'm basically, the highlighter ones, I've ordered all of those from 123 Stitch, and that's been shipped, so they're on their way. And then some we do DMC, and then I'll do, as per my little notes, up here I've got here, just change for hair colour, change for face colour. So like I'll make my friend's representation slightly more olivey skinned, and mine will be Band-Aid coloured skin, because I'm one of those people who matches the Band-Aid. If I didn't have freckles, you wouldn't see the Band-Aid on me. When people go, Band-Aids aren't, obviously they were modelled after Scottish ancestry skin, because I am a suitable Band-Aid beige, but I have freckles, so I look like I have more colour than beige. But anyway, I'm just going a bit nuts. So that will be May. Can't remember what I said I was thinking about doing in April, back when I was talking about how I might do this whole monthly start thing, which I'm planning barely. So I do have a Carolyn Manning design. Now, I had said I'd only have one go at a time, but I've got one of her geometric quilt blocks, and then I bought this one ages ago, and it's so ridiculously cute, and I don't even know what I would do with it. I mean, maybe make a project bag, but it's cute. So it's called Fairy Square, just in case you can't read, from the It Takes a Village collection, and it's stitched on, I think they're stitched on, well, the pattern I can tell it's on an even weave, even though so the model's on an even weave, but the pattern says fabric Ada 14 count chocolate mudslide, which I did look that up. Who's that by? Chocolate mudslide. I can't remember what brand. Anyway, nope. So basically it's just shy of 12 inches. The design is just shy of 12 inches, almost square, on 14 count. And I thought, you know what, I'm doing all these 40 counts. Let's live life on the edge, and I'll get a 28 count even weave. I would have got Ada, but there are quite a lot of fractional stitches, and I much prefer to stitch them on an even weave than splitting the thread on Ada. I mean, I've done it, but I prefer stitching on even weave. So what did I order for that? All just going to be in DMC. I already cut out the colours. So from Country Stitch, a 28 count even weave, and the colour is going to be Summer Coral. I had thought about getting the fabric called, I kind of like it when the fabric matches the chart. There's one called Mushroom, but the mushroom was too dark, and on the even weave it would have been lighter than the sample on the screen, which was linen, but it was very dark. It was like warmer, but a real rich brown, like a teak brown. So the Summer Coral is it's I think a bit warmer than this, but it has that bleached sort of dead corally colour. Anyway, so that, at least I'll have the fabric, and it's DMC. So that might not be what I start in April, because I would have just started Halloween Quaker, and I might just end up doing that. But at least I'll have it. It'll be one that I'll have in the wings, so to speak. But what I might do, so that I have something started in March, and I have this scrap of fabric that was a I think it's what I stitched my Mirabilia, not the Crystal, Angel Proclamation on, this yellow. And I have it, strangely I have it right beside me because I'm showing you something on the back of it shortly. I did actually put this through a coffee tea dye thing. I did a whole lot of scraps coffee tea dye just to have a play with different kinds of linen and scraps and stuff. And I was going to use them for a project, but I hated how it smelled. So I started stitching on a couple of things and I just couldn't stand. And I'd followed somebody's YouTube video, they had put a bit of vanilla in, and it was just, I just didn't like it. It was just, and I could smell it on my hands. So I ended up putting all of the scraps that I'd dyed into a garment, a lingerie bag into the washing machine, and it washed most of it out because of course it was just coffee and tea. But it has just given it a slight dirty tinge compared to the original. Anyway, I mean, seriously, was that like 10 minutes talking about this piece of fabric? So I've got this scrap, which is 10 by 8 or something. And I've got this wee free chart that I got off of the interwebs from La Di Da. And somehow I ended up printing it as a photo when I did some photo printing a little while ago. It must have been in the wrong folder on my phone. So it's, 89 by 89. It's a wee sampler, which you could probably tell if you look at the screen. Honestly, I'm just struggling. I'm struggling with life. And I'm going to use one of the reds that I got in the Victorian Motto Fabulous Red collection. So I went through them this morning, and I think that this one, which is Prim Valentine, because this is a primish design, and it has that slightly bricky tone to it. And, because I've got this here. And I'm going to do that. I might use one of the other reds for the hair and the hearts, just to, I'll have a look how it stitches up, just to give it a little something, and my initials, which L and M, except they're right beside, so the spacing's a bit, who knows. So I don't know where to put the date in. We'll have to work that out. I need to squeeze a 2020 in there somewhere. Yeah, we'll make it work. So yeah, I might just whip that up. I mean, the way I stitched, I could probably finish that today, to be fair. In fact, I probably will. Because I'll put Night Walked Down away, and I will, if I stitch this afternoon, especially if I'm having a yak to my friend Tanya for a couple of hours on the phone, it'll just be like, real quick. And then that will be my first red sampler. And then at least I will have started something in March, and then Halloween Quaker will be, it's going to be an April start. And then in Friendship a May start. And then I need to start planning for my next long dog, which I probably want to do Life After Death, and for that I need silk from Silks for You. But also I'm probably going to pay the controversial amount of money that has caused people to be quite weird, I think, on the internet, but pay the controversial amount of money for a PDF for Prairie Moon, the black and the red, the red and the black, because when I first saw those designs after they had already gone out of print, and they're just ones, the sort of ones where I'm like, I probably would pay, I don't know, maybe $60, I don't even know. I mean, it's $40 US, I'm going to pay $60 for that chart. That's what it will cost me, because I'm in New Zealand. And I don't care that it's PDF, because I'd have to pay freaking shipping on top of that. And then wait for, at least when I do buy it, I will get it instantly. And I know that it is a lot, but I mean, I know that the Death by Cross Stitch I paid nearly $50 in New Zealand for. That's a PDF. It's just what they cost, you know. So I know it's controversial, but I love it a lot, but I also want to use. I'd like to do both of them eventually, but I want to use one's charted for 32 count and one's charted for 40 count. They're not the same size, but if you stitch them the same stitch count, stitch them the same fabric count, they are similar in size. And my plan is to get a hank of the blackest black that Silks for You sells and stitch the blacks in black, and then I'll pick probably one of the reds, or one for each one from my red set for the reds, and I don't know what fabric I'm going to stitch them on yet. But this is me. I have to start planning. So, and I can't get the silk, possibly can't get Silks for You yet because I don't know if Joe's managed to get, I think it's Joe, managed to get the silk from China. Anyway, so that's one big ass project planned and another medium-sized project planned. But the long dog will be on 36 count because that's how I roll with them. And I'll also do red and black on 36 count because I really like 36 now. Whereas I used to love 32, and now, but I love stitching with one strand more than I love stitching with two strands. So I really love 36. Yes, I grabbed out one of my last few previous finishes, and this was carrying on the cat theme. This is a big ass cat sampler that can't even fit in on a 32 count raw linen, natural linen, and I think I changed the colour of the alphabet from the design, I can't remember, and it's really big and it has a funny story. And I am a cat person, so if I had a pet, it would be a cat. I choose not to have a cat at this stage in my life, and it's many reasons. One of them is I like having the freedom to not come home if an opportunity presents itself, rather than worrying about the cat. But I have friends who have cats and I go and visit them. And I'm kind of slightly allergic to cats too, so there's that. Anyway, so with that pattern, it was a pattern in a magazine. Like it was one of those, inserty, I don't think it was a cross-stitch magazine. I think it was something like Country Craft, or, it might have even been Better Homes and Living or something like that from back in the day. And I had the paper, it was a brown paper folded in, so it had all of the patterns and stuff from the magazine that you then copied or whatever. Now, it was another one that had this, it had the stitch count. I didn't count the pattern, I went off the stitch count, and the stitch count on the pattern instructions was wrong. And so I went and I got the piece of fabric and I sat down and I started stitching it, and I stitched the first cat in the bottom, which would have been, because I start bottom left, so I started here with this one. I stitched home on this piece of fabric, and it took up a significant amount of the fabric, and I thought, I'm not going to get, how many, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I'm not going to get 6 cats along there, because this thing took up like, I don't know, a third or whatever. So then I counted I had a look at the actual chart, which didn't have, it wasn't numbered, I counted the blocks of 10, it's like, however many hundred, and let's say the chart had said 120, actually it was like 240 or something. And it was like, oh crap. So anyway, blah 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 blah. Finally I bought another piece of fabric. But also, I actually didn't want something this big, but I love it though. But it's massive, it's really massive. So what are we going to do with it? I mean, I stitched it in 2017. Wasn't even that long ago. That was the second time round. Okay, so anyway, so I stitched my cats, and I was partway through, and I think I moved house. I moved flat. I lost the pattern. And I was like, I don't know, maybe for the top row. I had the top row to do or something. And I couldn't find it. And I went online, I tried to find it, and I managed to find one of those dodgy scans. I think they're through Pinterest. Like I found some of the cats on Pinterest, but didn't have the key. But I was like, oh, I can work it out. And they were like really bad scans, and I know it's really, but I'm like, I already had this pattern. So I brought some, saved into my phone, and I was trying to work out the symbol key based on similar cats. And it was starting to really stress me out. I was going, I don't think I can do this. And I've stitched all of that way. So I've stitched 4 rows of cats, got 1 row to go, 6 cats, or however many. And then I was doing, basically I found it. I found the chart in the most random place. So it must have got caught up when I was packing, and then I didn't unpack that box, or wherever it was, I can't remember where I found it. And it was like, ha! So it was like several months later that I was able to pick it up and finish it. So that made me pleased, because I don't like leaving unfinished projects. So yeah, I've got this massive cat sampler now. And now I'm like, I wish I had changed the letters to orange or something, or mustard, like, because that real apple green doesn't really go with any, like, I was going through a bit of a green phase. I don't know why I picked green. I don't know if it had, I feel like it might have been green. Oh, it doesn't matter. But I have this massive cat sampler. Maybe one day one day after a large lotto win, or when I've ever finished my landscaping, maybe I'll get it framed. And then, it's so big though. It is really big. So whatever. And it's not that I have other big things, but I can see where they go. I don't know, but maybe I'll end up with a cat wall, or I'll just cycle, like I've said earlier, I'll cycle things out, and I'll do cats this month on my, because by the time I pull all the cat samplers together, maybe I'll have enough, like a cluster of 5 cat samplers or something. Anyway, oh, I don't even know what I'm doing. So yeah, send help, send mental wellness my way. I will be back next week. I may be wearing a straight jacket. That'd be fun, won't it? And I probably will have finished this, and then I'll probably pick up my Quaker Seasons of Friendship. Anyway, everybody take care, enjoy stitching, stay safe, what are we calling it? Social distance yourselves. Send me a note or a question, ask me something about something, I don't even know. And I'll tune in next week. In the meantime, don't let your needles rust. Bye, ciao.